Hey guys, what is up? I've got another tarot unboxing video for you. This one is the White Numen Sacred Animal Tarot. Really excited for this one. I think the artwork that I can see just off of the box is already just stunning. It looks like it's going to be based on the traditional deck, or like, you know, the Rider-Waite version of the deck. I like to call it the Smith-Waite because Pamela Smith drew everything. But that's my personal little cup of tea. But yeah, so really excited to get into this and see what it looks like. So I've been getting a lot of decks lately that open up from the bottom. I think that may be like a new style in box, which I'm here for. The box is also just like a very thick, very sturdy box. Magnetic clasp, which is nice. A little bit of artwork on the inside too. I like it when they have the really thick boxes just because, like, as a tarot reader, I used to read for a store, and so I would take my, like, I don't know, just like decks and stuff in my like purse with me. And so the ones that are in the thinner boxes, like the usual tuck boxes, they end up falling apart. The little like top flaps get ripped off really easily. So I like that this is kind of like the new trend. Here's the inside of it, a little bit of cardboard. Let's take that out. All right, very cute little box. Nice. I'm gonna tuck that back in for now. All right, so before we get into the flip through of all of the cards, this is the guidebook that comes with it. It's a cute, small little book. Again, I like that it's a hardback copy, so if you are learning the deck, this is going to last you a lot longer than those kind of just like paper ones. Really cute artwork in it. Let's see, an introduction, major arcana, minor arcana. Oh, yay! And it's got some spreads in there, and a little how to read, but okay, let's look into the spreads. I like it when places add their own little like unique spreads to it because it gives us a little something fun to do. That's interesting. Ooh, that one's cool. Oh, and extra cards. Cool. So some decks, so when they print playing cards, they print them in sheets of 10. And so a lot of times, because tarot is a 78 card system, different artists will do different things with like those 2 extra cards that just, you know, they just like come with it sometimes. Sometimes they'll do little blanks so you can like make your own cards, but I don't do that ever personally. So I like it when they include their own. So let's see, Black Numen and White Numen. Interesting. Very cool. So those extra cards will add their own little bit of extra energy, making this deck even a little bit more unique. Great. And I like that it's full color too. Sometimes it's just black and white. So this is, again, just very visually, very aesthetically pleasing. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do the flip through now. So Fool, Magician, High Priestess. So it looks like there is going to be a little bit of nudity on here, which personally I don't mind. I think, you know, as an artist, all of the human body is art, but I know some people, especially with the algorithms today, you know, that can be something that some people try to avoid. Ooh, inclusivity. Yes, 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 please. So straight up oh wow. I was distracted because the cards are kind of like sticking to my tablecloth here that I didn't even look at the back of them, but the like artwork on the back of the deck is also gorgeous. Kind of like a little sketchy, not like sketchy, but you know, it looks like it's done, like it has a kind of like pencil-y texture to it, which is very nice. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's scooch these down. I don't know if you can hear it grabbing my tablecloth. Definitely like fresh cut, like it'll take a little bit to wear these in. That's also why it's important to do flip throughs the first time that you get a deck, so that way the cards can kind of unstick from each other. So not all of the artwork is going to be based on the traditional deck, it looks like. The devil obviously looks a lot different from the devil card. You're not getting the two lovers kind of down at the bottom there, and the tower drastically different. You don't see the guys falling out of the tower, which is its own story. But you know, it's like every deck is unique, and so I think again just the artwork for this is gorgeous. Oh my god, the moon card. So I actually made a little like tarot tip video about this, but the moon card, the original like version of tarot was, or like, you know, the first one that we have record of is the Tarot de Marseille, which is like a French, you know, the original French version. It had like pips before the Smith-Waite version like did artwork for all the minor arcanas. But anyways, besides the point, it was made in France, and in France they have a little like saying or phrase for like these little transitionary periods in the day, so like dusk and dawn, or dawn and dusk, and it's like Chiet and Trey and Loup, if I remember correctly, and basically it translates to between a dog and a wolf, and that's their phrase or their saying for that transitionary period of the day. Is like, oh, you're, you know, between a dog and a wolf right now, like you're in this transition from the kind of more wild, unknown, subconscious, you know, that nighttime energy into the known, the bright, the day, the conscious. So I like that it kind of focused on that symbolism there. The moon is kind of almost an afterthought there, but I think the artwork's really cute. All right. And on the sun, interesting, it's like she's playing with the sun card. All right. It's interesting. It's like, I don't know, the sun card's usually a little bit more like victorious feeling. This one, it's almost, it looks like she's kind of like lost in the desert, which I guess is like, you know, the sun bearing down on the desert, but I guess like reading interpretation wise, that doesn't quite convey the same oomph that I'm used to. And the world card. Okay, so that is the last of the major arcana laid out now, and we're going to get into the minors. And again, for the marriage card, 2 women. So maybe the artist of this deck is LGBT, which is, you know, hey, I'm the B of the LGBT. Totally get it. Love all the representation. But the only reason I say that is just because it's the like lovers card and the 4 of Wands are both you know, woman or like female presenting. So it'd be nice if there was like, you know, like a male or like some other representation too. Not that they can't have their time to shine, you know. The 8 of Wands is interesting. Just kind of like a ton of snakes, like snake soup. Well, I would almost do that more for like the 10 of Wands or something, but I didn't make this deck. All right, and we're into the cups now. I like that visually you already get like a pretty hard distinction between the two. Like the wands are all very red toned and the cups have a lot more blue just straight out the get-go. So when it comes to like a reading, I think you'll be able to like visually see, you know, kind of like the combinations of cards, which elements are being represented kind of based on just like the actual color. In the like Smith-Waite version of the deck, I like to look at the background colors of the sky too, just because I think that's also has an intentional bit of symbolism in it. Yeah, I like that Page of Cups. That's nice. Oh yeah, and she's got the little third eye there. I feel like the Queen of Cups is a very intuitive card. It may not always get read that way, but she really is just very like to me, it's like the king of, oops, the 2 of Swords got stuck there. It's like the Emperor, it's like his most faithful minor arcana representation, I feel like is the, like the King of Wands, and I feel like the most, like the closest minor arcana representation of the like High Priestess is that Queen of Cups. All right. Oops, those are from the back. You didn't see those, little sneak peek at the end. Oh, very interesting 7 of Swords. Kind of has that same like sneaky energy, but definitely looks, or I guess it could be positive or negative depending on who you are in the situation. Hopefully the person with the hands and not the person, you know, with the knife to their throat. All right. Interesting with the rooster for the 8 of Swords. All right, and into the Pentacles. So let's see. The Swords, a little bit more gray, I guess, or whitish colored in background, that beige. The Swords are a little harder to differentiate from the Cups, I guess, or it's not quite as visually contrastative. Contrastative, is that a word? I'm gonna make it a word. Put these down here. Again, I think the art style is just like really well done. All of the artwork is very clean. All of the proportions are, you know, good. Yeah, just very well done. Very nice artwork. This kind of reminds me only vaguely of the like Divine Tarot, but I think that may have just been kind of like the first card that I was seeing here that reminds me of like the color palette for the Tarot of the Divine. But all right, so there we go. And these two here are the like additional 2 cards that we talked about. So there's the White Numen and the Black Numen. So there we go, guys. That is the flip through. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle them and do my first reading with it. So one thing I will say about the back, so I like it when the backs of decks are like symmetrical this way and this way. This way, if you learn which way is on top, so yeah, the dog is on top, you'll kind of always be able to know if the first card you pull is going to be upright or reverse, which I don't always like. I feel like, you know, as somebody who reads reversals, I think that definitely like affects a reading. And when I do professional readings, I'll have, if I'm in person with the client, I'll even have them like hand the deck back to me one way or the other so I know which way to flip them. So yeah. All right, 2 of Cups. It is going to be a love reading today. So that's what this reading is going to be about. I just picked that card to talk about it. I was going to pull for the card for this reading to be, but let's go ahead and let that be it. And again, 2 of Cups, two women. So it wouldn't surprise me or shock me if the artist of this deck was a woman who is into other women, regardless of how that, you know, regardless of what identity she or they may choose to identify with. But that's cool. I like that, honestly. It's like, you know, I think I said earlier, it's like, oh, it would have been nice if there was like a, you know, like a man, like, you know, just like other diversity, but there are so many decks where it's all just straight couples, so there can be a deck where it's all lesbians, you know? We won't discriminate here. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut. Yay, okay, cool. So we got one of the additional cards, and cool. So we've got all different elements here. Pentacles. This one Pentacle card isn't very green. Kind of almost looks a little bit more like the sword thing, which is actually interesting. In I think Crowley's interpretation of tarot, it's like he says that all of the different court cards are different like elemental representations of like the element that they're in, and I think knights are associated with wind, so like the sword, so it's like the Knight of Pentacles is like that windy aspect of earth, so that's kind of like dust, quick dust that you get to see. But so that is kind of interesting. That may not have been intentional, but that's just kind of like fun for me to read from. All right, so the kind of like crux of this reading is going to be the 2 of Cups, which is all about relationships. Particularly though, the kind of mechanism under which the Two of Cups works is like this harmony or this balance of emotions. You can see it's like this cup is giving to this cup and this cup is reaching right back to fill that cup up. So it's like when two emotional states are in harmony with each other, that's the kind of like basis for that relationship. And so when the Two of Cups comes up, it can signify that just like somebody will enter into your life that kind of like you have that exchange with. Since it's the Two of Cups and not like the Lovers card, this doesn't always necessarily have to be a romantic situation. This can even be platonic, where it's like, you know, you just meet somebody who you really resonate with. Oh my gosh, you guys like the same things. You're like, you know, you just meme in the same ways. I don't know, you just kind of click a little bit. But, you know, because the Two of Cups is usually read as romantic, and I think a lot of people look for love readings and tarot readings, I feel like for the people who did choose to stick around and watch this reading section of the video, I feel like a new relationship could definitely very well be on the horizon for you. So very exciting. I hope that goes well for you. So this will be the internal aspect of that. So this will be kind of like you. This will be the other person who will be coming into the picture, and this is why you are drawn to this particular reading. So I am going to read the Black Numen from the book just because I've never seen this card before. It's not a part of the usual tarot.